Hello and welcome to the C-Suite of the Open Video Series with TMX Group. My name is Omar Kefagi and I'm a Corporate Access Manager here at TMX. And joining me today is Jeremy Sobotta. He's the CEO of the newly listed Perimeter Medical Imaging AI. Thank you for joining me, Jeremy.
Thanks for having us, Omar.
So Jeremy, start us off and tell me more about Perimeter Medical and what makes you stand out from your peers.
Great. Yeah, Perimeter Medical Imaging AI is an early stage medical device company. We're currently making the transition from late clinical to early commercial sales with our already FDA cleared ultra high resolution real-time imaging platform. What we are helping surgeons to do is transform cancer surgery by giving them tools and information that they do not have today to assess intraoperative margins. So to help you through that, what that means is today cancer patients, the standard of care for them is to, after the tumor is removed, to have a 2 millimeter cancer-free barrier of tissue around the outside of that. Unfortunately, today the tools available to surgeons don't allow them to do that during the operation. So the patient is sent home, the specimen is sent to a laboratory where it's reviewed, and 2 to 7 days later, we find out whether or not they achieved that margin of cancer-free tissue. The result today is about 1 in 4 or 50,000 women annually in breast cancer have to come back for a second operation or maybe even a third operation because of this problem. And where we are innovating in the space is bringing resolution that has never before been seen by surgeons during the operation. So our technology is brand new, patent protected, like I said, ultra high resolution technology that will enable them to assess those margins during the operation to avoid the potentially avoidable second surgeries and third surgeries that are plaguing the healthcare system today. From a forward-looking perspective, we have some really exciting product development activities underway as well. And the next step for our imaging technology will be to overlay artificial intelligence onto that imaging technology, which will make the results and review of the images that are generated today far more effective and efficient. So we're really excited about the path that we have there.
Very interesting, Jeremy. So building on that, what are maybe 3 points that you want investors to focus on when taking a look at Perimeter Medical for them to be convinced that it's an attractive investment opportunity for them?
Yeah, certainly. So I think, we're addressing an unmet need that is a very large addressable market. So we have about a $3.7 billion addressable market across cancer surgery and across the workflow of cancer surgery. So very exciting there. As I mentioned earlier, we're already FDA cleared and will be commercializing in a very significant initial addressable market in breast cancer. So there's a de-risked, commercial stage story there from the already FDA clearance. And then, as I mentioned, moving forward, there's really exciting value creation from the artificial intelligence that we'll be bringing to the technology. Number 2 is we're, as a early stage medical device company, we've amassed, a world-class team of talent to lead this organization. So the management team comes from, an extensive career in nothing but medical devices and specifically significant experience in medical imaging, which is fantastic for us. We have a board of directors that has significant commercial experience in medical device, a lot of clinical experience, as well as, you may have seen, we just recently announced some capital markets appointments to the board that really rounds out that team for a foundational support and expertise for us. And then we're working with world-class clinical advisors as well as we develop and design the technology. We have the chief of breast surgical oncology at Harvard Medical School on our scientific advisory board, and working with world-class institutions like MD Anderson Cancer Center, Baylor College of Medicine on our clinical studies to develop the artificial intelligence. So really a who's who within the space to lead this organization through this transition to commercial activity. And then finally, we just completed the RTO to become listed on the TSXV. So coming into this transition, well capitalized, we have between cash on the balance sheet and access to capital through non-dilutive grants and warrant conversions, access to that will enable us to survive for a couple of years yet as we transition through this process. So very exciting opportunity to participate in the story right now.
Yeah, so those are three very appealing points, but I want to shift focus on difficulties. And I'm curious to know, what are some of the challenges that you're facing as a company, and how are you addressing those challenges?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think like most companies right now, we've faced some challenges due to COVID, both internally and externally. So adjusting to the work from home environment and remote work environment as we're developing, hardware and technology like that our team, can't always touch and feel. We've had to adjust our way of working there. And I think we've handled that pretty well and found alternative paths to get the technology even into our employees' departments, and having them work from home with tools that would normally be left in the office. And then generally speaking, externally, as you can imagine, we're focused on breast cancer, and patients are delaying things like mammographies and delaying treatment just because they don't want to go to the office or go to the hospital to get those done. So as we're trying to accrue patients in our clinical studies, the volume of surgeries has slowed. So I guess a public service announcement for everybody right now is don't delay your mammographies. That is, early detection saves lives. It's well worth the trade-off there. And secondarily, we're seeing as places are opening back up more and more, we're seeing that backlog is flowing through the system, far more quickly. So while we had some delays, we're able to catch up because of the higher than expected accrual rates. So that would be the primary challenge we're facing.
Right. Jeremy, we've celebrated your listing in early October to launch the Breast Care Awareness Month, and to celebrate your listing on TSX Venture. So I'm curious to know, how is that listing going to contribute to your success?
Certainly, as I mentioned before, that listing was a symbolic calendar mark of the transition from product development to commercial activity for the organization. So it could not have come at a better time. What that enabled us to do was raise capital that is going to establish that commercial organization and really take this company from creating great technology and actually getting it in the hands of surgeons to impact patients' lives going forward. So we could not be more thrilled with being on the TSXV and the capital it's given us access to, and look forward to growing and being on the exchange going forward.
Certainly. Well, Jeremy, thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you for your time. As a company that's doing a lot to help an issue that has touched us all in one way or another, I'm definitely rooting for your success, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you thrive in your market. So thanks again for your time.
Thank you.